All right, so this is my first guitar. Well, it wasn't my first guitar. It was my first like real guitar. My parents bought me guitars when I was a little kid, and I played my brother's. But I bought this kind of like with my own money. I think I had just gotten my driver's license. I think I was 16, and I went down to Modern Music in Fort Lauderdale, 1980, and the lady who brought this in wanted to sell it. They didn't want it. It was a 62 reissue. It was from 1979, and she had it, and she walked out. And for some reason, I oddly remember this. I went out to her car, and I'm like, "Hey, I'll buy it. That's the guitar I want." And I think I bought it for $350, and I don't know how I had $350. I have no idea, but I had $350, and I bought it in the parking lot of Modern Music in Fort Lauderdale on Sunrise Boulevard. Right, different, not Sunset, Sunrise. Now this thing has been through the mill. It had a Kahler on it at one point, then it had a Floyd, and then I had routed out the pick guard with a solder gun and took it and chopped out a hole, and I put a Seymour Duncan JB and I drilled it into the body, and then I had a Telly lipstick in the neck that I drilled into the body, and I took the center out, and that was like my Van Halen thing with the Floyd. And first it was the Kahler, then it was the Floyd, then it was this. Then at one point I even went with an EMG, and I remember I reversed this, the jack, because the jack on the EMG back in the day, I don't know now, but the 81s, it was long, it wouldn't fit. I flipped it. Like, this thing was crazy, man. It's got like all these bite marks from me trying to learn Yngwie solos and Randy Rhoads and all that. And a bunch of people I played in bands with signed their names. There's names everywhere with, like, you know, screwdrivers. And anyway, about maybe 12 years ago, at the studio in Hollywood, maybe 15 years ago, that was a while ago. This thing had been sitting for like 20 years. Just, I never even used it. It literally was like in a storage or closet or whatever. And it had like the old EMG. It had the old like Duncan in it still, and it was just, but it was just, I wasn't playing it. Greg, the guy that worked the studio, had like this Battleship Gray Stratocaster that he played on like every session. And it was like, that was his thing, like the Stratocaster, the AC-15, and a couple of pedals. And the guy was making some music with this little combination. And I got so into his Strat, and I think at one point he was going to sell it, he needed money or whatever, and I was like, man, I want a Strat. And I'm like, I don't want to buy a Strat. I was like, wait a second, I have a Strat. So I took it down to Santa Monica Music. I think it was called Santa Monica Music. No, True Tone. One of those down there on like in Santa Monica. And they had a set of Fralin Woodstocks. That's these pickups, which are not, I don't think they're popular. I think they were kind of a custom thing. They're kind of like vintage, but they're Fralin. And then I got this weird pick guard. Good Lord. And I had my friend, I think Jerry at Luxtone, cut out the pick guard to get it to sit on here. We put all new electronics in it. We gutted the whole thing. The Floyd's had a stop plate on it forever. Once I got over the thing, I didn't want the bar, the plate move, the bar moving, because the way I play, it's too weird. I like a solid tailpiece. And that's it. And the neck we shaved. Rick Atheris shaved it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty flat. You know, put the frets on it, and Shaler machine heads. It's just a Frankenstein. See, I've got the 5 springs on the back, just locked in. I like the fine tuners though, but it's played weird. The action was really high, and I was just messing with it. I was watching that guy Reba, that dude with the big fro, the guitar player that does the videos. He's really, I like that guy. He's a nice dude. He's Ribe or Reba or something. He's got some weird Persian name or something. He's from Andertones in like London or whatever. But he's playing his Strat, and I'm like, man, I gotta crack, because that's where I'm at now. Like now I'm in like serious session guitar player mode, and I'm like, I've got my Les Paul. I fired up my green one here because I was thinking, man, I don't have anything really as versatile as I want. I'm like, wait a second, I have this. This is the versatile guitar, because that's a Duncan 59 custom hybrid in the bridge and a 59 in the neck, but they're 5-wire and the coils tap. So you can get anything from like Guns N' Roses to like I Feel Good to like, you know, Prince to disco to country, because of the wide spacing. When you go single coil, you know, you get almost like a Telecaster-y spacing. So I've been firing. I used this today on a session. I played some lead guitar stuff. Yeah, I used to use a lot of these because I didn't want to tour with my Gibsons, and I've really grown to love Epiphone guitars. Yeah. So anyway, I thought I wanted to pull this thing out. So what I did was I had a hole cut here, or etched out, so I could get in there to do the neck adjustment, because the neck adjustment on this neck is not here, it's back here. Fender really, in the 70s, they really went out of their way to be unuser friendly. But I straightened the neck a little bit, and I got it playing good now. Like, the action is good. And the way it was set up before, it was, well, when I lowered it, it was fretting out. Yeah. Just a touch. A touch too much. I don't even care. Who does that, right? All right, so anyway, this is my first guitar, my first real guitar. It's the only thing that's lasted through my life of being crazy, you know. Being a crazy person and then being in Hollywood in the music business is like putting gasoline on the fire. But not now. I'm a regular guy now. Anyway, here it is. I'll play a little bit for you, and then that's the end of the video. It's not going to be anything eventful. One thing I love about this guitar is the center pickup, which I never used the center pickup because I used to pick so deep that I always would touch it and I didn't like it. So I would always either bury it or take it out. But now I've grown a little bit more. I don't know. But anyway, the center pickup on this, that's killer. The same thing, right side is, or left side is AC30. Right side is Deluxe Reverb Reissue 68. And then together, get a little. Anyway, I don't want to do that. I don't want him to ban me for life. We can even put a little GML on it. Ooh, doggy. Ow! Ooh. Let's put a little, let's have a little fun. You know, I don't know if my videos are ever going to really change. I see all these people with these super, like, organized videos, and also they're super, I mean, they're selling gear, obviously. I mean, if I see another Quad Cortex video, like, all right already, I get it. Sorry about that. What do we want to, oh, you know what's so cool? This is the H9 Max. In the vintage delay, the classic chorus is so nice on this thing. I know I keep playing the same riff. I'm going to record this. Dude, I did a session today. I tracked a vocal for like a licensing thing. I don't normally do that. It was really inspiring. Crackle again. How the hell can that be coming back? See, there's that crackle again. It's in this patch bay. I'm so aggravated. I hate. This is $1,000 a patch bay. 2 of them custom made, and I have had problems with them since I bought them. There's nothing I can do now. I mean, I'm in deep with them. So this is neck, and then the phase between neck and middle. See that right side? I'm so sorry, it's pissing me off. Let me just unplug one of these. I know which one it is. It's at channel 8. I'll move everything over. Alright, so dang it. Yeah. This should be gone. It's 8. I'll figure it out. We'll make changes. We'll fix it. If anybody that like has a big guitar rig and like a big recording studio, when you start hearing like little, you're like, you could totally hear it, and then you're like spooked forever, dude. When I had that SSL and I had all those Pultecs and all that old gear, you'd get in there and it'd be like, what's that? What's that? What am I hearing? The Sontec would be all left heavy or something. You'd have to like, call it tilt it. You'd have to put signal generator through and level the board. I mean, if you're in Pro Tools, you don't even know the pain. People are like, dude, do you miss your SSL? It's like, hey, you know what? You go spend 60 grand and get one and have it for a couple of years, then we'll talk. No, I don't miss it. Not at all. I mean, it's fun, but yeah. And now the money pickup. The between the center and the bridge. They love that sound out here in Nashville. So there is the history of this beautiful Strat. I'm going to start using it again. And now the action is gorgeous. You know, I used to work for a luthier, and I used to fix guitars. I worked for Johnny Guitar and Jerry Tune Music in Hollywood. And I was pretty good. You know, like, I'm, like, good at setting up. Like, because I've got a good... I know how guitars should play. But, you know, I'm not going to refret your guitar. You know, like, I'm just better at stringing, setting up, basic intonation. A lot of times I get guitars from these techs and they play like doggy. I don't know, not so hot. I always end up having to do... Yeah, this is beautiful now. And I don't play enough, like, to make it too hard. Let's see, put a little light speed on. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like that guitar sound in Give My Regards to Broad Street. Does anybody remember that record? It was Paul McCartney. It was like Post Wings. He had like one kind of big hit on it. Or like the Big Log. Off of the Robert Plant record, all that same era, kind of like early mid '80s. I don't even know when it was, but yeah. So anyway, put a little bit of. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's too fast. We'll go real slow. All right, enough of that. That's like the Big Log sound. Listen to that. It's been a hard day. What is that? It's one of those. Something F sharp, weird 9. I don't know. One of those chords. The middle pickup sounds like the human voice to my ear. Like this sounds like I feel like I'm talking. Yeah. Oh! Like and subscribe.